exercises?
I don't know what that means.
So it's possible we have peaked in our adventures.
We went to a place called the Cave of Niaux.
It's got all the vowels in it. Thank you for watching our videos. It really means a lot to us, so we hope you enjoy them. If you do, please click the like button and subscribe.
It's near the Pyrenees Mountains. It's
On the France side.
Yeah, on the France side. They've kind of dated it back to
like 13 to 15,000 years old.
When humans were hanging out in there.
In the caves. That's where they lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to this. It's actually a huge cave system.
Right.
It's so big that they believe it was like the meeting place of lots of different tribes.
How would they know to meet?
The fire.
By the full moon?
Yeah.
A fortnight?
Something. The dark night was coming. The winter was coming. So yeah, we went to explore the caves. It was kind of foggy and cold when we got to the mountain, and it became very clear that they did not want to let Lennon go.
Yeah, so before we went, you had to, reserve a spot. So we did that, and on the website, obviously we were translating it, and so it just had this recommendation of 6 years old, but it wasn't a rule. I read it more as a suggestion. Because
is that how you read all rules? So we didn't pay any attention and decided to take her. And one of the guys who was working there saw us trying to check in.
Yeah.
And proceeded to give us every reason why she should not go. Not that she couldn't, but...
Yeah, he just said, well, it's cold, it's slippery, and then it's kind of a hard hike, and then you gotta be quiet in the caves.
Yeah, she can't talk.
You can't talk in the caves, and which we were like...
She'll be just fine. But unfortunately, Everly heard that, our oldest, and was like, well, I'm not going if I can't talk.
I was excited when we were driving, but when we got there, and then that guy started just talking about no running, no anything, and I was like, this is going to be not good.
We decided Lennon would be fine, and we all had these, explorer lanterns.
Yeah, old-timey, you hold... Yeah, the box.
Because it's pitch black in the cave if you don't have lights.
Right, and the big reason you go to the cave is the cave drawings. So these date back, we think, they say 15,000 years. It's the, without even knowing that that's where we were going, when I saw a couple pictures of the drawings, I was like, oh, I've seen that before in a book and a picture.
It's
because
the most famous cave.
Yeah, it's the most famous drawings with the buffalo and the arrows and bison, buffalo.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I don't know if we eat buffalo, but I've had bison burgers.
The buffalo roam.
Yes, on the range, which is
so I'm sure
Montana.
They eat them.
Maybe. Okay. I never had buffalo. Maybe they're the same animal. No. Anyways, the tour guide called them bison, which I think is bison.
So we started into this cave thing, and it was pretty cool.
Just from the start, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's obviously rock formations in there and stalactites and these really just cool things that our kids have never seen. And then you start to see, we're not even close to the cave drawings yet. And you can see where explorers who found these caves or who have explored the caves basically tag all the way down. You can see people who did it in the 1800s. I think we saw some 1643s. And yeah, so once we got to the chamber area, our guide, who only spoke French, really.
Yeah, that was a real bummer, because I really wanted to know.
Which is on us. We don't expect them to translate everything in English. When we got to the back, we obviously didn't know where we were because we couldn't understand him. He asked everybody to turn off our lights and put them on the ground.
Right, which we of course couldn't understand anybody was saying. We just saw people. We were in the back because we kept the kids kind of behind. We're in the back of the
we
line.
always stay in the back. Yeah.
So we saw everyone like cutting off their light and setting everything down. And well, you shut your light off, and then there's this like guide rail that like you're supposed to like turn off your light, because once you turn off the light,
it's pitch black.
He had his light off too, so it's pitch black. So you kind of hold on to this rail and like follow it along.
It was cool at first, but then right in the middle of it, it got scary because he kept turning off the lights.
And it is pitch black, and then he kind of shines his light more down,
so
you
he was
could
covering his lights.
Right, so you couldn't really see anything but him. And then he was explaining, I guess, what was about to happen,
which we didn't know, which honestly probably made it all the more amazing to us.
Right.
Because then he uncovered his light, and it was on the wall, and it was just drawings.
Yeah.
So you see these original drawings that are so well thought out. I mean, in the way that like, if you look at the animal from the body to the right, it was a bison. But if you look at it from the body to the left, it was like a horse. And it was very smart.
It was really a cool moment to be there, because he should, all of a sudden it appeared, and then all of a sudden it's like, everyone like gasped, like amazing. And then he turns off his light again. So all of a sudden we shuffle all about 10 feet, around, and then he turns off his light again, and then bam, he shows the next drawing, which was even more impressive and elaborate. It felt very odd to be in there. I felt like out of place. Like, I don't understand why we're in here. I mean, it was really, really cool, but it felt like almost not sacred, but like you felt like you were seeing like a secret. This is not top 10 on your tourist list.
It's not like the Louvre, where there's thousands of people trying to see the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, but it felt more not important, but
special.
Just special, because it was like a secret, and there were these people that 15,000 years ago, which is hard to wrap your mind around, that decided to go down there and hang out and then draw these things out, and we were now getting to experience it. It was pretty cool. He took us away from the drawings into like, it looked like what would have been a meeting spot. There was like a big rock in the middle.
He shined the light up, and it was like a cathedral.
Yeah.
Like the rocks, it sounded like a cathedral.
And then remember that if you were watching all our shows, you would remember that time where the guy in the little exhibit went like, oh, it went just like that.
And then he did a couple like singing, nothing.
He wasn't singing, he was just projecting.
Yeah, projecting, chanting a couple notes, and I mean, they would just go on forever up the thing. And then he asked if anyone wanted to sing, of course, and
I didn't. I should have. And I regretted not singing, because how many times am I going to get the chance to sing in a cave?
Trained singer to sing.
Yeah, I totally just on that one.
And then he kind of wrapped it up, and we proceeded to head out of there.
Yeah, that was much faster.
We just kind of made our way back. And so, obviously, we've been in the cave for, an hour and a half or so. Your eyes are kind of all, adjusted. And we finally make it back out of the cave. And
it was clear. First of all, everything had cleared up. And when we come out, and all of the mountaintops are covered in snow, which is the first time we've seen snow since we've been here. And it was, it like took my breath away. I was like, oh my gosh, it's snow.
Yeah.
It was, it was so beautiful, and we were coming from such a dark place. And we were like, kids did it.
Yeah, and no one got kicked out.
Everybody has their little moments, but all in all, like, our oldest turned it around and now loves the fact that she's like explored a cave.
I'm sorry, but Lyndon's stuck in the tree. Drawings, paintings.